Hey, welcome back, folks. This is part 2 of the Quick Start Compost. You can find part 1 down in the playlist. Now, this here is obviously, we still have a lot of snow here, but my compost pile, I got a burn pile over there I've only used once, like 5 years ago, but excuse that. But this right here is the top of my compost pile that the snow melted off, because we've had a lot of snow melt here. Now I'm going to try to get in here, and I'm shooting freehand, folks, so if it's jiggly, and I have a habit of dropping the phone, so please be patient. And I'm going to try not to sink all the way to my hip here in the snow. But the temperature here today was, well, it was above 40. Very nice. The snow is melting, all of that. So I'm out in spring and fall clothing. So I'm not dressed in my heavy winter gear like I usually am. But this right here is my compost that I started and I worked last year. Now all this is because you can see it's frozen down under. See, all that right there is frozen. But this right here is ready for this year's garden. Now this is a combination of coop litter from last June's clean out and fresh sawn sawdust. So look how nicely that's composted down. Look at that. And you can tell, and I'll take a close-up picture of this, so I'll post it. But you can tell there's a little bit of shavings still in there, shavings. But it's broken down, so I can use it in this year's garden. And you can tell when the compost is ready to use. It's okay, it's safe to use, it's no longer hot, so it's going to burn your plants, is when there's no more smell, folks. Now, as of early last fall, there was no smell to this, so it was ready. It was garden ready. So, and then, it is what it is. Now, I had 3 piles here, and if I can find those pictures of the first stage, the middle stage, and the final stage, I will put them here. I don't know if I can find that photo or not, but you're definitely going to see a difference in that compost method. So, and I'm afraid I'm going to sink like right up to my hips on this. But when the compost no longer has a smell, it is ready to use. Now this could break down even more because obviously I've got shavings, but once you put that in mix it in with your soil, use it as fertilizer, it's going to continue to break down even more, right? Because that's what compost does. So this is, I call that beautiful, beautiful compost. Now, a lot of people say that you cannot grow anything in sawdust because sawdust will rob the plants of nitrogen, because it's using the plant, the green, to decompose the fresh sawdust. But there is a way, folks, there is a way. And somebody said there's a method out there called the mitt lighter, I think it was, the mitt lighter method. And they have a special formula, and you can buy a package of this and package of that, and you can mix it with this and mix it with that. Then you can plant in it. I don't even know about that method, so I've got to research that. But this method here works wonderful for me. And look, that's left over from a feather. Looks like a goose feather. So there's that. Now you can't see over there because there's snow on it, but so that's what it looks like. Now, as far as the temperature of compost, a temperature of 80 to 100 degrees is considered steady composting. Sorry folks, I'm going to try to get down off this bank without falling on my tuchus. Alright, so that's a pretty good sized compost pile. and this is only one of them. I've got 9 compost areas in my yard. So 80 to 100 degrees is considered steady composting. 100 to 130 degrees is considered active. That means it's working a little harder, it's a little bit warmer. And let's see, I think it's like 130 to 160 degrees is considered hot composting. Now I'm very careful of my hot composting because that's what I use. I use hot composting method for my bathroom material because I do have a sawdust toilet. So that takes a hot compost. And I'm very careful of getting it too hot because then it'll start killing off all those microorganisms, the good bacteria. So you don't want it too hot. I'd say if you got a compost thermometer probe, I think mine is like 18-inch long probe, and it reads from the base of the compost probe, folks. So you can stick it right down your compost, right down the middle of your compost, well, at least down 18 inches, and it's going to read the temperature of that compost at 18 inches deep, okay? So it's not going to read the surface, it's going to read wherever you put the end of that compost probe is where it's going to measure the temperature. So, and I believe the compost probe that I have is Rio Temp, I think. I'll take a picture of it. I'll take a picture of it and take a picture of that inside my current compost pile, and we'll see how that's doing because I haven't checked on that for a couple of days. So, location of my compost. Well, I've got several composts around. I have a 3-tiered compost up in which will be in the beginning of this video, the 3-tiered compost. That is up in my garden, and that gets, it doesn't get full sun. It maybe gets 3 or 4 hours in the middle of the summer. So that's like a slower compost. That's where I put, you know, my weeds, and I put, you know, the end of the year garden plants in there and all of that. And then I have this one here. The other one, this one is full sun, folks. This one right here is in full sun. It gets the morning sun, and right now I'm in late afternoon, so it's getting the sun even in the wintertime. It gets the morning, midday, and afternoon sun. But I've got one that only gets morning sun, and that composts just as fine. So the only problem with putting it in the shade is, unless you're really good at composting and you're keeping it moist, but you're not keeping it too moist, and you keep turning it, that's okay. But the other problem with keeping it in full sun is it will dry out. So what I tend to do is, after it rains in the summertime, when I'm starting to build this compost pile up again, and I'll do that again once this goes into the garden, but as you can see, it's going to be a while before I get into my garden and before this will be used. After it rains, I'll come out and I'll turn the complete compost. I'll just turn it over. So I'll take like this pile here, and I'll start another pile. So as I'm taking off from this pile, this compost here will now be on the bottom of the new compost, and then I'll shovel it back over after another rain. But you don't want to stir it too often, folks. You gotta allow that compost to heat up. And if you're stirring it every day or every other day, then that's not allowing that compost to heat up and to break down. So you gotta stir it often, but you can't stir it too much. And if you don't stir it enough, you gotta find that balance. So that's where a compost probe thermometer will come in once it gets to, like, I don't know, let's say 120 degrees. Then you can turn it and put the probe back in, and then when it gets up to 120 degrees again, you can turn it, because that's what I tend to do. At 120 degrees, I'll turn it. So you can have compost right out in the open. You can have compost in partial shade. You can have it midday sun, however you want to do it. But make sure it's in a place where it's going to get the rain when it rains. Okay, folks? So that is it. I'm not sure if I covered everything that you wanted to know, but that is a good start. And if you have more questions, what I will do is you ask them underneath this video here, and I'll be sure to answer them for you. Thank you so much for the recommendation that I actually finished this video. So anyway, like I said, I'm freehanding it today. It's been an awful busy day. It's been awfully slippery, but because the sun has been out today and it got up to the mid 40s, almost 50, that, you know, it's slushy now. It has a slush to it, so it's not so slippery.